lazy dude time, and we're gonna read some comics. Yes, we're gonna read them. It's lazy dude time, I'm gonna tell you all about it. Let's all go and read them comics. What's up, everyone? Lazy Dude 99. So, here is my biggest top 10 ever. I don't mean biggest as is longest, because I'm not going to beat my top 10 most hated superhero list. That was 40 minutes long, so I'm not going to do that again. But still, it's a good video. Check it out. But I'm going to do my most time-consuming video, because I've had to do a lot of stuff. It's my top 10 superhero animated movies. So let's get to my top 10 favorite animated superhero movies. Let's go. Number 10. Justice League for New Frontier is the first movie on my list. Now, this movie takes the number 10 spot. Why? Well, for the most part, this was like one of the first. It actually showed a lot of things that I wasn't expecting. In fact, in the very beginning of the movie, a guy takes a gun and shoots himself in the head. You don't really see it, but you see blood and him take the gun and point it at himself. And it was very interesting, very interesting as in the fact that it was, dark. And I did have some problems with it. There were some things. The ending, I kind of had to, I liked the entire story, the whole thing with the center. The whole thing with the center is just like this being that's been on Earth longer than anyone else. And it's decided that all humans should be destroyed. So it's decided to do it. But there were some problems. I didn't like the design of Captain Cold. I mean, honestly, he looked like I don't know, he looked like a Lex Luthor wannabe because he was all bald, and I just didn't like the way he was voiced. But I liked the Flash. They had some things with the Flash, and he's pretty good in this. But my favorite part of the movie is a scene with Batman and Martian Manhunter. Batman, who was played by Jeremy Sisto, I believe his name is. The guy did a great job on Batman. I mean, there's just a scene in it where he tells. He knows that he's not human, and he tells the Martian something that I just like.
And one other thing. I'm not sure what you are, or where you come from, but my instincts tell me you're to be trusted. Make no mistake, though. I have a $70,000 sliver of radioactive meteor to stop the one from Metropolis. With you, all I need is a penny for a book of matches.
So, Justice League New Frontier... It's about a new beginning, and no greater beginning than on my list. Number 9. Superman and Batman movie, World's Finest. I was actually asked to review this movie. But I thought, hey, I'm just going to be doing a top 10 superhero animated movies list, so it's going to be on my list anyway, so I'll just do that. So this movie is based from the animated series. It was actually shown on the Superman animated series in 3 episodes. The basic plot is Joker and Harley Quinn steal a statue of Kryptonite from this museum. People think that the kryptonite is made out of jade, and but it's real kryptonite. And so, since Joker is desperate for cash, he goes and he wants to make a deal with Lex Luthor to kill Superman.
Joker.
Lexi, old kid, do I have a deal for you?
Now, the biggest the biggest thing that I like about this movie is because you see your first heroes in their best setting. You first see Batman when he's at the scene of a crime, investigating and and being all detective. And you first see Superman when he's saving Lois Lane. Oh, and the president's on the airplane too. But you see him doing some heroic, gigantic thing. And I like that you both see both of the characters doing what they're best at. Now, my favorite part in this movie is when they first meet, because things don't actually turn out that well on their first. And of course, Superman finds out who Batman is the easy way by just looking through his cowl. And then Batman finds out who Superman is by slowly by somehow putting a tracking chip on the back of Superman's costume. And I just like this. There is some romance scene with Bruce Wayne and Lois Lane, but for the most part, this is just about Batman and Superman, and Lex Luthor and Joker. And the Lex Luthor Joker team up is so odd but so great, because it's just something that you don't really think works. I mean, Lex Luthor and Joker, they're almost as opposite as Superman and Batman, but they made it work. They made it work in this, and it was really nice. And Mark Hamill and Clancy Brown really played off each other really well, and I really like this movie. So it's the Superman-Batman movie gets the number 9 spot.
Number 8.
Justice League Starcrossed. Now, this movie was also from the animated series. The animated series made it into a movie. Its basic story is that, first you find out that Hawk Girl was kind of like a spy. The entire time she was kind of like a spy, but all these Thanagarians, these Hawk people, all around, and they're like, okay, there are these aliens called the Gordanians, and they are coming to Earth, and you need our help to protect you. But sooner or later, when everything starts all nice and micey, sooner or later, things go sour, and next thing you know, the entire Thanagarian Empire has taken over the entire world. I really like this too. I mean, it has a nice feel to it. It has a nice, and even some really funny parts. My favorite scene in the movie is a scene where the Justice League is on the run from all these Thanagarians, and Batman says, Martian Manhunter says they're looking for the Justice League, but when we're out of our costumes, then we're not really, no one can recognize us. And the Flash is like,
hold on a second here. What about the whole secret identity thing? I mean, I trust you guys, but I'm not sure I'm ready to... Wally West, Clark Kent, Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, so I just love that scene, and I love the movie. It's a really nice movie. It's also was aired on the Justice League show. It was the season finale to their entire season. So Justice League Starcrossed, great movie. Pick it up. Moving on.
Number 7.
Ultimate Avengers. Now, this is the only time in my book where the Avengers beat the Justice League in the animated movie department, because this movie was based on the comics, The Ultimates. Based slightly on them, and the Ultimates, it was written far differently, and from what I know, and there was a lot more characters. But from this is their basic take on the Ultimates. Now, the basic story, it starts out, and this is actually my favorite part in the movie as well. In World War II, right before the war has ended. Well, technically the war is over. Hitler has been overtaken and stuff. But there was it starts out in a strike crew that was going against so-called Nazi secret weapon, and Captain America's with them.
Okay, soldiers, let's take this dump.
This is when you first see Captain America fall into the ice and freeze. Our cast here, our cast of superheroes, is the original Avengers: Well, not the original Avengers, because the original Avengers was Iron Man leading, but the classic Avengers. So we got Captain America, we got Iron Man, we got Wasp, and Giant Man, who personally I think he was played a little bit too much like a jerk. I know in the Ultimates, I believe he was also drawn as like a wife abuser, like he abused his wife. But I don't know, he's too jerky for me. There was nothing to like about him. You got Black Widow and Nick Fury, and of course the Hulk. And so this is just their first meeting, kicking some alien butt. And I must say, it's a really nice movie. You should check it out. It's the best thing from Marvel Entertainment. I can't say the same for the sequel, even though it was in my title screen. It wasn't that good of a movie, the sequel. But the first one, Ultimate Avengers, good movie, and you should check it out.
To see the rest of my list, go to part 2.